Alright, so, yeah, Scream, which came out in 96. I don't know if Wes Craven, he directed this. He didn't write it, but I'm not sure if I don't know if he did New Nightmare before this or after. But I'm not really a big fan of the Scream franchise. I mean, I like the films, but I'm not a big fan. The only one really I enjoy is the third one. I even like elements of 2. 4 I like. The first one it's alright for me. It's not. Is it a classic like a lot of people say it is? That's a hard one. I mean, you have Neve Campbell as Sydney, Courtney Cox as Gail, the reporter, who's uh, not really a bad guy, but more of an annoyance character. Like, she's out for herself, trying to get the big story. And her and Sydney have beef because I guess Gail wrote a book about her mom and the murders of her mother. Because pretty much a year after the murder of her mother, the teenage girl, Sydney, is terrorized by a new killer who targets the girl and her friends by using horror films as part of a deadly game. I mean, film is meta. It does pull from other. It makes fun of like other films and references other films. At one point, you do see Halloween. They're watching Halloween. They reference Prom Night 2, Jason, Michael Myers. So you have a decent, callback to other films. I do like the idea of a killer taking elements of horror movies and then sort of you make an original character with it. Of course, this film, spoilers, I guess, is basically 2 killers, Stu and Sydney's boyfriend, Billy, this guy, like, I don't want to stereotype, but, like, because he's supposed to be, like, a bad boy, I guess, and rebellious and all that, but you can tell he's a little mental. Also, there's a line in here where they subtle, it's kind of actually tell you how, like, as soon as you figure out the twist of Stu and Billy working together and how they did this whole planning and them killing folks, it was cool where uh, David Arquette's character, who plays a deputy, Dewey, his character's pretty cool, and, well, not really cool, but I didn't mind his character. I liked his character. I kept getting Scary Movie flashbacks because his character, they totally, like, make fun of his character in the Scary Movie movies. At least the first one or the first 2. Which, because I couldn't take his character seriously, because then every time I saw his character, I would just go back to Scary Movie and then Doofy, and, but, but yeah, they set up the whole Gale and, Dewey, kinda, it's not really a romance, it's more of a, she kisses him at one point, towards the end, or when they get ran off the road by drunken teenagers. But I mean, the opening kill with Drew Barrymore, a lot of people are like, that's one of the best openings to a movie because it's shocking. I mean, I guess because she was a pretty big star at the time, and you figure, oh, she's not gonna die in the opening. She's like the main, really the only famous name, I believe, except for Courtney Cox, who was on Friends. Besides that, like, she was the only famous, one of the 2 famous people people probably recognized at the time, and to kill her off in the very beginning was uh, probably really shocking to folks. Of course, I love how Scream 5 wants to try to do that, I guess, with um, Jenna Ortega, her character, I guess. And they do, again, I did a trailer reaction to Scream 5, or I'm sorry, Scream 2022, which, again, it's called Scream 5, not just Scream. That's so stupid. But I did a trailer reaction, and it's basically Scream 4. Like, it looks just like Scream 4. It's not really original. I'm sorry. But, people are gushing over that trailer, which is fine. Not gonna, you know, if they enjoy it, that's cool. I will watch the fifth one for sure. But yeah, this first one, even the way it ends, I like, because it doesn't leave off for a sequel, because they kill both of the killers. And I like the Randy character. He's actually pretty cool, where he, you know, freaks out at one point, where he works at a video store, which I'm like, talk about, nostalgia. Video stores back in the day. I wish they were around. But yeah, at one point there's a scene where him and Stu are talking, and he's like, "Everyone's a suspect." Um, yeah, that was funny. I enjoyed his character, and then the fact that he dies in the sequel, that kind of sucks. But and and his character actually likes Sydney, which I wouldn't have minded if she got with him in the sequel. But then nope, she goes with uh, Jerry O'Connell's character, which I liked as well. Um, but yeah, the first film I don't mind. It's all right. Sydney, she can hold her own against Ghostface for sure, and even the design of Ghostface and all that is pretty cool. Um, Pretty. I don't want to say creepy, but I guess kind of scary. Um, but yeah, I can sort of see why this became a pretty big classic uh, horror film. It's more of a, it's horror, and that's kind of it. But there is humor as well. I laughed at spots where they, like when the victims are like fighting back from Ghostface, like they not throw doors in his face or throw beer bottles at him and trip him and throw him around. It reminded me of like Elm Street, the first one where Nancy like does the booby traps and tricks Freddy and throws him around and all that, injures him. But you can sort of see how they telegraphed Stu and Billy's, like who would be where during certain scenes, where you can tell it was, well, you can't really tell, but you can sort of tell where it's Stu. Well, it must have been. I wonder if they set that up. The fact that maybe they did want Billy to go. Maybe they wanted him to be framed for a minute, and then maybe that was on purpose. The fact that he dropped the phone, and then he gets arrested, and because I think that's what they planned as well. So I don't know. I don't know if they even say that was on purpose in the film, but yeah. Where was I going with that? Anyway, I didn't mind the film. I thought it was fine. But yeah, on to Scream 2. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and thumbs up. Subscribe, share, comment. What's your favorite Scream film? Is it the first one? Which, again, if you watch just this one, I think, and you don't like the other movies, I think you'll be fine. But if you do like the sequels, which ones is your favorite? I do wonder if maybe if I were to skip the second and third and go right to the fourth one, because the fourth one is like it takes place like years later from the. I don't even think they really referenced the third film, so it's like, you know. So I think I might do that, but I don't know. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this.